my! Is that a budding theme park proprietor I see before me? I certainly hope so. Otherwise, you're in quite the wrong place, and none of what I'm about to say will make any sense to you. I am Oswald B. Thompson, theme park impresario, and I am here to help you take your first steps in this most exciting of professions. And because it's a first step, we're starting in a somewhat humble location. A charming little park which, as yet, has not fulfilled its undoubted potential. A park where you will begin to hone your skills. So, first things first, you should learn how to navigate around the park, moving. Look at that! You've completed an objective. Now, objectives are a bit like bosses. They tell you what you need to do, earn more money than you, and drive a sports car. No, that's not right. Anyway, how about completing another objective?
If I could butt in and make a suggestion, how about you make your next objective opening up literally the only ride in your park? Why is it even closed?
Oh, hello, Lucy. This is Lucy Summers, one of the most enthusiastic and outspoken theme park fans in the world. She's got almost 800 followers. You know, online. Not in a cult.
Hi there. And it's 900, but who's counting? So, the ride?
Ah, yes. Opening rides. Go on, select the ride. Good. And now, open the ride. You did it with such gusto. Well done. And now that we have such an adorable, gentle ride open, more guests, especially families, will soon be flooding into the park.
You know, you could turn that flood into a bigger flood. This place just needs something a bit more thrilling.
Well, if people want thrills, then we'll give them thrills. And possibly nausea. Head over to the highlighted area. I think it'll make an excellent location for a ride. But let's ask our head engineer. Eugene?
Greetings, Eugene Newton. Good to make your acquaintance. And yes, Mr. Thompson, I think it will do nicely. The proximity to existing infrastructure appears nominal, so guests should be able to achieve both entry and exit with minimal difficulty. So, if... Oh, just a word about the radial menu. The radial menu gives you fast access to commonly used actions. Please note that the options available in the radial menu will change depending on the mode you're in.
Welcome to our roller coaster development facility. Hey, here you can learn about, build, and test coasters to your heart's content, all without having to worry about finances and whatnot. I'm not entirely sure how that works. I think Cynthia has found some kind of tax loophole. Right, I'll leave you in Eugene's capable hands. There is literally nothing he doesn't know about coasters.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. You are quite correct. And yet love, however, remains a mystery. Now, when guests ride a coaster, their experience will be determined by how exciting it is, how much fear it causes, and how much nausea they experience during the ride. You can see these ratings in the Testing tab. Now, when guests ride a coaster, their experience will be determined. Now, when... Look at those little faces. The happy face is excitement. The higher the number, the better. The scared face is fear. The best rides are scary, but not too scary. The sick face is nausea. No one likes being sick, so keep this as low as possible. At a glance, a green face means the rating is very good and your ride will have higher prestige. That's the target we're aiming for. An amber face means the rating is just all right and the ride will have less prestige. That's the target you'll probably hit a lot of the time. A red face means the rating is very poor and may even cause problems for guests. And that's like missing all the targets and shooting yourself in the foot. So, what determines excitement, fear, and nausea values? Well, they result from the gravitational forces experienced by guests as the coaster changes direction and speed. These are called G-forces. When you're ready, deselect the test coaster. First, some basics. Every coaster needs a station where guests can get on and off. Different coaster types allow for different methods of propelling their trains. The most common method uses a chain lift to raise the coaster train up so that when it crests the top of the hill, gravity pulls it down and whooshes it around the track. Travelling down the first drop, the train will normally reach its fastest speed. It's a great way to start building excitement. Left and right turns in the track cause lateral G-forces that induce nausea in guests. By banking the track as it turns, you can change the force from lateral to vertical, pushing the rider down into their seat and making the turn a lot more comfortable. Cresting hills that generate just enough upward G-force will make guests feel like they're rising up out of their seats. This feeling of weightlessness, called airtime, provides maximum excitement to guests, with just the right amount of fear too. Finally, the circuit is complete as the track connects to the other side of the station. It's important that the train has enough speed to make it back to the station, but not so much that it has to brake suddenly, causing nausea. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? But fear not, you can always select one of the markers dotted around the test coaster for more detailed reference information, gathered via exhaustive experimentation and at least one tummy-related incident.
This is Planet Coaster.
Look at all that high-quality information. I really do spoil you. Okay, once you've taken everything on board, simply close this marker and we'll continue. That concludes the non-interactive portion of my presentation, for which you will now receive a bronze star. Very nice. Now, if you could head over to the highlighted area,
Can you
we'll
speak
move on to the
Dutch?
interactive portion. Good news! It's finally time to get your hands dirty, metaphorically, obviously, and construct your very own coaster. Now, it's probably a good idea to start out by trying to copy the test coaster. After all, its design is simple but effective. You can start by opening the coaster browser and selecting a coaster to build. Luckily, there's a coaster in there that's just perfect for our needs. So, let's build that one. Now that the station's down, you'll need to place pieces of track one by one by one to create a circuit. Start by building a chain lift high into the air, then switch to standard track pieces and create a thrilling ride back to the station. There are plenty of other options for you to explore in the settings, but I'll keep quiet and let you have the fun of experimenting. Plus, it's been 15 minutes, so I'm due a union-mandated cup of tea. You've completed your first track. Please let me be the first to offer you my warmest congratulations. Oh, and this silver star. So, now you've built a coaster track, that means you need to test it and see how it fares. But before you do, you should familiarize yourself with the tools you can use to analyze its performance. Select the testing tab of your new coaster. So, now you've built a coaster track, that means you need to test it and see how it fares. But before you do, you should familiarize yourself with the tools you can use to analyze its performance. Select the testing tab of your new coaster. So, now you've built a coaster track, that means you need to test it and see how it fares. But before you do, you should familiarize yourself with the tools you can use to analyze its performance. Select the testing tab of your new coaster. As well as the Start Test option, the Testing tab has 3 sets of data that provide essential feedback from your test: live data, results, and heat maps. Live data displays information about the ride as it happens. The data is color-coded, so you can easily see how well the coaster is performing. Results give you a fascinating insight into the ride as a whole. There's all sorts of interesting data in there. Heat maps let you view data directly on the track, allowing you to pinpoint issues more precisely. You can choose what type of information you want the heat map to visualize. Right, when you're ready, feel free to start a test. Don't worry, you can stop and start this test at any point. But more incredibly, you can actually edit your coaster track while a test is running. Heavens, imagine being on one of the trains while that was happening. Oh, and don't forget, you can switch heat maps between E, excitement, F, fear, and N, nausea, as well as the various G forces, to see how your coaster is performing. Right, when you're ready, feel free to start a test. Don't worry, you can stop and